Yes, sir. Okay, I'll call to order the 2,362nd meeting of the Darien Police Commission, and the first order of business is acceptance of the minutes of March 13th, 2019. Kim?
So moved.
And I'll second that. Commissioner Joyce being absent. Okay, Chief, we got a couple of nice letters here.
Yes, letter from family member of the resident that lives on Overbrook Lane, the lady whose house was broken into back in January. Her son reached out to me and sent a very nice letter thanking Officer Pat Clohessy for the amount of time he spent with his mom that night, calming her down, and for the great work that Detective Beth DiOrio did on that as well. We wanted to make sure that we were all aware of that great work. He was very appreciative of their work and the work of the entire department. I got a second letter just this morning, a really nice letter from a resident thanking Officer Lou Mora for stopping by. He saw her son and another playmate playing field hockey in the driveway, and she thought it was just great that he stopped and played field hockey with them in the driveway for a few minutes, because her son thinks the world of the Darien police, gets very excited around the policemen and cop cars, and said it was a great experience for her son.
That's what we call true community policing,
Community
correct?
police.
That's it.
Lou's known for doing that kind of stuff. He's a good man.
No, that's terrific.
Yeah.
That's nice stuff. All right, old business?
No, department next.
Oh, department activity. My God, thank you.
All right, I have a few things for you. On March 14th, we had a bike stolen from the Darien train station. On March 14th, we had a motor vehicle accident involving a vehicle versus a pedestrian that was investigated at Post Road and Center Street. A vehicle making a left turn from Center Street struck a pedestrian who was crossing the Post Road in the crosswalk. Pedestrian received possible minor injuries and was transported to Stanford Hospital by Post 53. And the operator of the vehicle was issued a summons for failure to grant right-of-way at a crosswalk. On the 18th, we had a commercial burglary at 205 Post Road. It was an overnight burglary. Rear glass door was shattered with a brick. A cash register and some cash was stolen. The Detective Bureau was investigating. On the 19th, there was an investigation of a fraudulent scam incident at a vacant house on Middlesex Road. A victim in Arizona scammed into believing that her son was in some sort of legal trouble. She was instructed by the scammer to send $10,000 in cash to this Darien address. And a realtor who was showing the house was familiar with the owners, came upon the cash that had been delivered, and the realtor took possession of the package and called the police. We did recover the money. The money is being returned to the Arizona victim, and similar incidents were being investigated by authorities in Maryland and in Haverstraw, New York, and an arrest was made in the Haverstraw, New York incident, although that's not related to our person. It's not the same person.
And just to ask, so this money was actually physically delivered to the
It was
to
to the address.
the address?
Yes. So there wasn't a Darien victim. The victim was in Arizona.
No, I understand that, but who did? Who was supposed to pick up the envelope?
What they do is they have. This is all part of this scam.
Yeah.
They deliver it to a vacant house,
Oh,
and then when it gets there, they have people that scout it out, and they'll make a dash for the front porch or front steps, wherever it is, and grab the package.
but the realtor got there
The
first.
realtor got there first.
Well, let's congratulate the good detective work of whomever the realtor
We
is.
think
That's
the
very
realtor,
nice.
yeah, she was familiar with the homeowner.
Oh,
and
good.
something.
Well, that's a good outcome, but, you know, you can't emphasize enough the amount of these calls that are coming in, especially to seniors. And since we're on television, again, to warn people not to give in to these schemes and scams.
Right.
And I mean, we got one in our house yesterday, claiming to be it's not from the Bureau of Federal Investigation, but from some similar
Right.
type of name that doesn't, you know, of an organization I know does not exist.
Yeah.
But it would scare most people. So please, folks out there, if you're listening to this, don't fall for these scams.
Don't ever send cash by mail.
Never.
Don't go buy gift cards for people. None of that.
And again, the IRS doesn't call you.
So just to finish up, on the 29th, March 29th, there was a larceny complaint at the Darien Playhouse involving theft of a purse that had been inadvertently left behind in the theater by the owner. The purse was later recovered, but cash and credit cards had been stolen out of it. And starting on the 1st, April 1st, our distracted driving campaign has started for the month of April. Officers will be targeting cell phone and other distracted driving violations throughout the month of April. We received a grant, a state grant through NHTSA to cover some overtime costs for officers to participate in this program. So we'll be out there, of course, writing tickets out for cell phone violations and other distracted driving. And that's it for activity right now.
Okay. We don't have any old business unless, Kim, you have anything?
I don't.
Then new business, move on to.
We did have, in the month of March, a couple of pedestrian-involved accidents. One I just told you about at Poston Center downtown. There was another one at Middlesex and Hollow Tree. We investigated both. Summonses were issued to 2 operators. Regarding the one downtown, you know, we've had a lot of talk about crosswalks downtown. One piece of information that's kind of new that Captain Anderson has brought to our attention is this thing called leading pedestrian intervals at crosswalks. Like it gives a pedestrian like a 3-second head start to get out to the intersection. Don't have a lot of information on it yet. It's just started to look into these, but Don and possibly Ed Gentile from the town is going to a roundtable discussion up in Manchester, Connecticut on April 24th to get more information on this. And this might be something that would help with our congestion and pedestrian safety downtown. So
Do we know of anyone else, other towns using them?
it's still new
So it's that
technology.
new.
I'll defer to the captain. He knows a little bit more about it than I do.
Yeah, Connecticut's just coming up to speed on this. The first I heard about it was when we were at the meeting up in DOT in Newington for the Corbin Drive project. And do some research, New York City has quite a few intersections that have this leading pedestrian interval programmed into their traffic lights. As you can imagine, some of the experts say they can potentially see a reduction in 60% pedestrian collisions. So it's worth exploring for sure.
It certainly is. As I think I emailed the chief, I know in Stamford it's had at least 2 very serious situations, one a fatality, I believe, at least one a fatality of a similar type situation. And so, you know, I guess the drivers get anxious and
Yeah.
maybe you're not paying great attention. Stanford has put up these lit signs saying, you know, yield to PEDs.
Yep.
And I don't know whether that's something Darien would want to do, but that seems to be what Stanford at least has tried to do, to at least alert people that a little bit more than,
Sure.
so in any event.
It'll be interesting to see what
it
this
will
is
be.
all about.
And that sounds like very,
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to
Possibly
see too,
good
because I
idea.
think 3 seconds either is good or bad. I mean, that puts them further out into the middle, which might, you know, they're getting kind of clipped. I don't know, it'd be interesting to see what the difference.
Yeah, we definitely want to look into it a little further.
Yeah,
okay.
But I'm sure he'll report back to us very
Awesome.
thoroughly.
Okay. Okay. Okay, the bollards on Andrews Drive,
Yeah.
that you've done.
The resident had asked to come in and be heard on this matter. Unfortunately, he called and couldn't make it after we put it on the agenda, so we'll have to put that off for another day.
Okay. Now I know Captain Anderson's
Yes.
turn.
Absolutely, he's got a number of traffic issues for you.
The first on the road races in the Long Neck Point and Pear Tree Point Road area. I got a request from a woman, I'm not sure what organization that she's from, a preliminary inquiry about having a race. And I
A new
called her
race.
back- A new race, and it would be impacting this area again. And I know the Legal Traffic Authority, the Police Commission, we've discussed this numerous times. I might suggest that we do put a moratorium on any events in the Pear Tree Point, Long Neck Point area above the 6 or 7 that we have already. If the commission wants, I can certainly still have the people make the application, but I think the answer ultimately is going to be we're probably not going to approve any more road races in that area and around those roads until one drops off. So if that's the way the commission wanted to go, it would be more expeditious for me just to tell folks that up front. You may want to consider that. I'm okay either way, but the likelihood of us approving anything.
And we've already approved, the 6 or 7 that we have year after year have all shown up and come back and
Yeah.
filed the appropriate paperwork.
Yes.
None have dropped off as of yet.
The people down there are a little weary of all the activity.
And not casting aspersion on any cause. They're all good
They're all
causes.
good.
That probably makes sense. I hate for people to keep filling out paperwork when,
Yeah.
do we need to make a motion of that, or what does?
I don't think you need to make a
Okay,
motion,
so
just
we
that
just generally.
we've discussed it with you, and we've kind of reached our fill for that area.
Okay,
Yes, we
There's
have.
enough.
okay.
Brook Street and Post Road, posting of no parking signs. This is a request that came in from the town administrative officer. It was through the parking authority over there at the town hall now, who process the complaints and the tickets. They do see a fair amount of violations occurring in the area of the Sugar Bowl. So it's a two-prong request. The first prong of it is a request to post the first 25 feet of Brook Street in from Post Road as no parking, from corner to here. We don't need anything further on that. That simply supports the existing statute. Just wanted to advise the commission that I would recommend that we would post that on our town road as a secondary, visual cue that you cannot park on that corner of the Sugar Bowl and kind of have your rear end hanging out onto the Post Road.
Is it already painted?
It's painted.
But there's no parking sign?
Some additional signage there, I think, would be in order. The second prong is on the opposing leg on the Post Road. Likewise, by state statute, you cannot park within 25 feet of that corner. That will require a request from the State Traffic Administration to install a sign there, and that would have to come from the Legal Traffic Authority. So if so directed, I'd be more than happy to send a letter to the State Traffic Commission asking for additional no parking here to corner signs on US 1 in front of the Sugar Bowl.
Again, it's painted already, we're not.
I'm not sure the US 1 is painted because I believe that's model block there with granite curbing. I'm not sure they painted it. But again, it's that corner there is problematic with people trying to traverse through there because everybody wants to kind of hang on that corner there to run into the Sugar Bowl or the Uncles. And it's been identified as problematic.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Lastly, on traffic issues, I think you're familiar with the Boy Scout tag sale and the expansion of the Boy Scout cabin. They have made some allowances working with P&Z for their Boy Scout tag sale this year. I met with the committee from the Boy Scout tag sale last week. They're asking for temporary posting of Old Parish Road on the east side. Coming in from West Avenue, down around the corner, up the Scout Trail, as temporary no parking. I fully concur with this. This is to keep their volunteers and their people in the weeks leading up to the tag sale from parking there and causing a traffic concern in the neighborhood. You cannot park by statute on the corner anyway, So posting it around the corner of the Scout Trail, I think would be advantageous to us. Keep some peace in the neighborhood and have the volunteers parking up at Rings End or somewhere else other than on Old Parish.
So moved.
Second.
Can I just add one other thing
Yeah.
for traffic issues? If you guys could take a look at this at your leisure, not now. We weren't able to get this on the agenda, but it's a memo from Captain Anderson regarding Nutmeg Lane and P&Z's proposal to put some parking on the new track that's being built around the high school. They're building a track around the high school, a running track. And they're looking to put how many spaces in?
6 total, I believe, 1 handicapped and 5 standard spaces.
Not parking on Nutmeg Lane, but a cut-in from the sidewalk, so it won't really be on the traveled portion of the road. It's kind of explained in there. They're looking for legal traffic authority input on that.
So we'll review this and
Review that and,
take this up at the next
yeah,
meeting.
yeah.
But they're gonna put in a track, and where's the track?
There's a track proposed around the high school, like 1.1 miles.
In the woods?
Yeah.
Through the woods?
And also on the Dillon property, which borders Nutmeg Lane, there's
Yeah.
a wooded area,
Yeah.
and it's going to be partially in there as well. So some parking is going to be in order, and they're looking to put some parking spaces in.
Yeah, okay.
So they wanted the LTA to weigh in on that.
Okay, fine.
It's mostly for the cross-country team, but it'll also be open to the public on non-school hours.
I see. Okay. All right, next we have the push-pull parade for,
Just an application for the yearly push-pull parade, which we approved every year for the past number of years. It's a very orderly parade, no issues, they hire enough officers, just looking for a motion to approve that.
So moved.
second. Retirement of George Jan.
Well, I just wanted to give you
Oh.
the applicant, we're taking current applications for new officers
Oh.
on policeapp.com, which I told you about before. People are signing up online now and taking the test through the CPCA, Connecticut Police Chiefs Association. There's about 40-something departments that do it that way. And we're trying that this time around, trying to get more people to take our test. So far, the applications are coming in.
That's good.
We'll see how this works out.
Okay.
How long has it been up and available?
Just not even a week yet. So it'll be closing date of April 30th, and then we'll try to get some people in here for some interviews.
Okay. So this would be for the new position?
Right, to replace Captain Lawler, to replace the position, you know.
Well, the move up, I mean, but this is for new
officers.
new
Right.
patrol officer, that's what I
Obviously,
understood.
yeah, we have police promotions scheduled,
Right,
but by the time we get all the applications in and testing done, there'll be a vacant patrolman spot
Okay.
after the promotions.
I see. Okay. Again, jumping ahead to Constable
Yes.
Janda's retirement.
Yeah, Constable George Janda, one of the Tokenique officers, is retiring on or about May 14th. Just wanted to let you know he is retiring. Experience, you know, they usually look to recruit people from our ranks, so there's some people that have their time in, somebody may retire and take that job.
Okay. Okay, the fundraiser.
The Leukemia Lymphoma Society fundraiser that recently was completed at the end of February raised a record amount of money, $5,650.
That's great.
Wow.
Very successful, and Michael, Officer DeSantos, is very grateful for everybody's participation.
Okay, and then we have step increases.
Yeah, I'll need a motion from you to approve the step increases from step 2 to step 3 for Lieutenant Marin and Sergeant Arizullo.
So moved.
Second. And then our favorite, the false alarm account.
Chief Obello had used money from the false alarm account, I believe, for this in the past. I'm not sure if he did or not. Well, anyway, we're looking for $500 for, we'd like to update the photos through Robert Taylor Photography. We have photos from, I think, 2007 and 2015. We had a lot of turnover, so we'd like to
That's a good idea.
get some our new people in there, and a lot of people have moved up, so we'd like to update that.
I think that is
That's
a good idea.
Great idea. Okay.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second. Okay, anything else for this meeting? What's a special meeting? So I guess we can't have anything else except go into executive session. And I take it we will not be voting on anything, or will we?
No, there's nothing to vote on.
Okay,
There's one matter I want to discuss.
very good.